Hello and welcome to Econal Podcast, where we talk about diverse topics from social issues to healthcare to education, you name it. So today we're going to be talking about mental health and self-awareness practices. And we have with us our wonderful guest, Mr. Valentine Solomon. Please, can you introduce yourself to us?
Okay, thank you. My name is Valentine Solomon Bassi.
Okay.
I'm a social worker by profession and
Okay.
also an advocate. I have core interest in quality education, gender advocacy, leadership, and governance.
Hmm. CV go choke.
Thank you.
All right. So, if your thoughts, if your mind was a TV show, what's it going to be called? I just want to know.
That's serious. Okay, I'll go with think and create.
Hmm.
You think and create a reality TV show. So you're just coming to the house to think, and then you create something out of what you're thinking.
Okay. So it's going to be more, or what's going to fill it up like that's.
It's actually going to be a platform where you use your brain, use
Hmm.
your mind. So
Okay.
let's be creative. Let's think. So
Yeah.
is it you want to solve a problem? Is it something you want to work on? Just think of something and then let's start creating it. So you're coming into the house and then we are going to feed you, but then you're going to think and then create something positive,
Type.
something that will have impact in the society.
That's actually very. You sound like you're a very mindful and thoughtful person. That's how it sounds actually.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. So, in your opinion, what would you describe mental health as? What is mental health? Let's like give us that.
Okay, in my own opinion, according to you, you said in my own opinion,
Yes,
right?
in your
In my
opinion.
own opinion, mental health is a total well-being of
Okay.
a human state of mind. Now, this has to do with the way you think, the way you react to things, the way you see yourself in an environment. Okay, this is actually an holistic makeup of human because if your mental health is not stable,
Yeah.
definitely it will affect every part of your life. So once you have a free mind, once your mental health is stable, then you don't have a problem as a human. I don't say problems will come, but problems that won't actually take you far off your current state of mind. So once you
Okay.
are stable, once you are good to go, then you're free.
Okay. So, what about self-awareness? Would you say self-awareness and mental health are they mutually exclusive, or are they do they go hand in hand? Or
Okay, self-awareness and mental health works hand in hand.
okay.
Because it takes someone who's not stable to actually understand that he or she is actually passing through mental health issues.
Right.
So you need to first be aware of yourself. Like a lot of persons, one of my lecturers used to say, have meeting with yourself. Call yourself, Valentine, let us have meetings. Sit yourself down and talk to yourself.
Association of Valentines.
Sit down, let's have meetings. So you
Okay.
need to be aware of yourself before you can even realize that you are having issues. Because once you get that awareness that, oh, I this is myself, I used to be like this before, but over time a lot have changed, and this
Yeah.
change is not
What's
positive.
changed?
It's actually going into a negative form. So let me just sit down and then start doing my plus and minus to check what is really wrong. So once you can realize that yourself is not that yourself anymore, then there's something wrong somewhere. So mental health and self-awareness goes hand in hand.
So it means actually from there you can actually pick out ways in which you can help yourself
Yes.
become better.
Yeah.
That's nice. All right. So sometimes I've noticed this thing in Nigerians. Like when we talk, we say we disconnect mental health. Like sorry, we refer to mental health issues as just mental health. Like, is there a difference between these two things? Like mental health as a topic, as a term on its own, and then mental health issues, mental health challenges.
Okay.
Like, is there a difference? Because I feel like most people misinterpret, misuse it, use it simultaneously. As so you get
Okay. Uh, there is a difference between mental health issues and mental illness.
okay,
Mental illness is actually the peak of it all. Mental illness comes in ways where individuals have involved his or herself in either drugs or substance misuse, or maybe a case of accident or something that might actually affect their mental thinking or their mental capacity. Now, mental health could just be these other issues that, okay, just emotional, you get just
okay,
emotional. you're not stable at the particular time. Might be due to frustration, betrayal, or something just occurred and then your mood just changed. Okay, so but if you don't handle mental health rightly, it can actually progress to mental illness. And that's where you
That's
start,
serious.
because if I'm having an emotional breakdown or something, okay, the nearest thing I could do is for me to maybe look for a therapist, talk to a counselor about
Yeah.
it. But once it migrates to mental illness, that's where the psychiatry comes in.
Okay.
That's where you start getting drugs and all of that just to keep you stable. So if you don't handle your mental health well, it might actually move to mental illness. So some persons, you might be telling someone, okay, for instance, you see someone who's mentally derailed, and then you tell the person you're, I say, no, I'm not, oh, I'm okay. Like I've been in the psychiatric hospital before where I was doing my IT or field work, and then there are a lot of persons that you tell them, okay, you know, you are not too stable. We're trying to we come and tell, ah, madam, I'm not mad though. So you see, I can talk. You see, I can reason, I
Exactly.
can feel this. But within you, you know that medically proven this person is not sound.
Yes.
Something has happened to that person's mental health. So it actually moved from mental health to mental illness. But if we can identify when it starts as mental health, then we won't progress to mental illness. But you can actually jump from being a mental health issue to mental illness when it gets to do with involving drugs, substance abuse, and all of that. So we can actually trigger those things to come up before time.
So there's something like, in Nigeria now, actually, we look at only those that roam the streets as mad. Sorry, I don't mean to say. Okay, like we only look at those that roam on the streets as people that are mentally challenged. Like we don't sometimes, because I feel like it's not peculiar to just certain people. I think there are some things that everybody is actually prone to, as long as you don't once you don't pay attention to your own mental health. For example, let's say depression, it can happen to anybody. Panic attacks can happen to anybody. So on what spectrum will you put this? Are you consider them mental health issues or mental illnesses? And like, what's the difference? Sorry, I know you expressed it just now. I just want to like be sure.
Okay. Yeah, almost everybody have mental health issues, especially in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not being frustrated in the work in your office, the government is putting you on a place where you don't even want to be. Your service providers, your data and all of that, they are putting you in a place where you just want to you're just getting angry. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of persons who have lost their mental capacity, their mental thinking, those are the ones we see on the street. Are, oh, these ones are actually mad, they are going naked and all of that.
Yes.
But there are some persons that are even worse than this person, and they are in the house. So a little things happen, and then you are picking up dangerous weapon to fight someone, or harm someone. A little argument that was just something that was just
That
fun,
managed.
you've now pushed it to a climax where people don't even understand. So at the end of the day, they'll ask, what really caused this issue? Why is this person behaving this way? So we were just talking about, let's say, football. And then, oh, is it because of football that is making this person to bring out weapons or abuses and all of? So a lot of persons are actually out there, thinking they are okay, but mentally they are not stable. So it might be frustration from work, it might be frustration from the family, it might be pressure being put on them by the society to fulfill a particular task they are not able to. So they see that they want to now push all their angers into another person that
Exactly.
innocently do
It's
not even know what
transferring
happened.
aggression
So,
to the other person.
okay, for instance, maybe you are married, a couple, and then you woke up in the morning, the wife didn't give you food, and you are the boss of a certain company or so. So you walk up to the company, and then the security actually saw you and went to open the gate, and now start shouting like, "What have been taking you so long to open the gate?" But this person is wondering, shey, am
Is
I
it just
not the
this
one
gate?
that
Is it just this gate that I did not
is it,
open?
am I not
Are
the
you
one?
sure
And
there's not
then you
something?
now get on there, so your secretary greeted you, "Good morning, sir. You're welcome." I be like, why will you greet me? What's your problem? As in, so it all leads to mental health. It's a gradual process. So
Yeah.
because what we need to do for ourselves to be okay is to be at peace with everybody, and then stay in the right frame of mind. The truth is, once your mental health is being tampered with, your whole day is messed up. Because what we think, we reason
Yes.
with our brain, and this is our
A
processing unit.
mental
So
range.
once there is a distortion in your processing unit, okay, there's actually an issue throughout the day. So you see someone that will be angry, and ask the person, why are you angry? Like he's a reasonable person, be like, oh more, I know Sabi waiting make me vex so, but man, I don't even know. But I just feel like,
Exactly.
but if the person could sit down and then reason and be like, ah, I'm
You
not
will
supposed
figure
to do
it.
this, so let me
Yeah.
just okay. If this is what always triggers me to get angry, let me stop. So you see, a lot of persons are actually going through this, but they don't know.
So I think that's actually where self-awareness comes in,
Yes,
right? Like
right.
self-awareness will allow you notice those places and those your triggers, those things that will actually trigger
Yeah.
your emotions. Okay, so what are some misconceptions that we have about mental health, especially in this part of the world?
Okay. When once we talk about mental, people think it's for mad people. Sorry to use that, or
Right?
don't need to use that word, so we just get everything clear. You get? We just think, oh, I have mental health. Yeah, this guy is mad, or he has been
Exactly.
smoking something that is no.
They say he has gone
He
mental.
has got, or some might say, okay, maybe when he went to use someone to do rituals and the thing backfired and all of that. But then this might never be true because hunger can even strike, can even bring up mental health issues.
See, then they say an hungry man is an angry man because you are frustrated.
Someone is hungry and then you are telling the person how to aspire to acquire food.
For what?
Nobody will listen to
I feel
you.
slapped because what?
Like,
Why are you motivating? Give me
okay,
food.
for instance, I'm going for maybe an evangelism as a believer of the gospel,
Yeah.
and then I walked into a compound where the woman have like six children, the husband is jobless, trying to do one or two things to get them together. And you are going there to preach to the woman, this and that, you need to do this, you need to repent, you need to give your life to Christ. But the truth is, this person have not eaten. You've not even cared to ask the person, okay, how's your life? How's the state of your life or whatever? Okay, let's say he's a member of your church, and then you've not seen the person in church for how many months or how many weeks, and then you're just coming to the person, you are not coming to church since God did this to you. Is God bad with you? Then there is more to just opening the Bible. You get just go
Exactly.
real with these persons.
Say, are you
What is
angry with
actually
God?
your problem? What is actually happening? Are you okay? You can talk to me. And you find out that most of these things is just hunger. Oh, there's no food, so I don't have food. I don't have also money to pay transport to the church. So why am I even going to go and do that? Okay, what will even take me there? So you need to actually ask first because we need to ask questions. If you don't ask questions, then we won't get the right answer.
Yeah.
So it's not everybody you see that you think, oh, this person, he has taken something, he has done something. Some person might be passing through depression, but you don't know. Because you are seeing them being happy, being excited, doesn't mean that they are okay. They just do need to wave that scenario out. But when they go back to their closet,
You know what I'm going
that thing
through.
just come down and be like, I'm back to my. There are
Yeah.
some persons that once they enter their gates, once they leave their gate, thank God I've left this place. And when they are coming back, I'm coming back to this place again. Maybe because of the environment they find themselves. The environment is this lousy environment that the neighbors plays things at a very high volume, or it's a compound where people enter, comes out, or they quarrel every time. This alone can trigger one mental health. So it's not until you take drugs or maybe you've gone to do plus up and something just strike or the gods just say, this guy. You know what we used to watch in Nigerian film now.
Right.
So at the end of this year, the gods are angry. Now strike this person is now mad. No. There are a whole lot of things that can trigger your mental health. Are you in a compound that people nags all the time, they fight, they quarrel? If you are not a person of that caliber, you will definitely be having issues. Because there are times you need to concentrate, but you are not. Okay, let's say you are in an apartment where your neighbor is playing a very loud music, and there's a church outside that is actually
Oh.
hosting maybe a vigil,
Oh.
playing something loud, and there is a grinding machine somewhere, and you're just in the circle.
And then, oh.
And so tell me how you
Especially
come out and then be
especially when
okay.
you are actually overwhelmed at that point.
You
Like
just need to
maybe
rest.
exactly like maybe you're already too much is already going on in your head, and then your environment again too much is going on. So you cannot rest.
So a lot.
Oh, I all right. So is there a point where you think, like I was talking about overwhelmed, like being overwhelmed right now. So do you think there's a point where self-awareness is actually going to, like, yeah, it can become overwhelming when being self-aware, being aware of yourself too much, when it's too much now, it can now become overwhelming. Do you think?
Yeah, when you are too when you are overcautious of a particular place, a particular environment, or your body makeup, Now it puts you at the point where you want to do this thing by all means, so you could just clear that error. Okay, for instance, some persons don't want to fail. You get, so they are trying all possible ways to do things that will make them not to fail. But in life, failure is part of our growth. So if you don't
Right.
fail, you don't be able to know how to do the next task better.
Yeah.
So some persons just want to get it done at that first instant. Okay, let me just do everything. You are seeing that the time is short. It's just like someone waking up and tell you, I want to build a stadium in the next 6 months. I know that building a stadium in the next 6 months,
It's unrealistic.
I don't know, but it will
Except you
take
have money, Sha.
miracle.
Except you have money.
Even when you have the money,
No, you can employ many people now. Like you just employ all the experts
but you know
around the
that it
world
takes
and
process. Now, if you start by pouring a foundation, you need to wait for it to get dry, get solid, for you to
that's
put up other
actually
things.
that's
So that's why you
actually
see people building houses of maybe 10-story building, and then you see to me, in the next 2-3 years it's collapsing or it's just sinking down because they didn't wait for the right moment to do certain things. They just want to rush. Oh, I want to do this thing today. I need to complete it, and you see that man, you can't beat time. The time will always be faster than you because the time is just there to tick. It's not the time is not doing anything. The time is just there
that's
to
his
tick.
work.
That's his work. So he that is trying to beat time. Okay, let's say for instance, I want to go to work and I'm supposed to resume work by 9 o'clock. Now I woke up by 8 and I'm trying 8 o'clock. Okay, let me see what I can do. I need to freshen up, take my bath, eat, brush up, check what I'm going to wear. If I didn't do that the previous day, and then maybe 8:30, I'm on the road. If I'm the one driving, I need to maybe warm my car, get fuel or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe okay, along the line you are coming and then there's a traffic jam. Are you going to beat the traffic because you want to get to work by? So you're now having this panic attack that I need to get to the office by 9. Because of that, you are going to do certain things that you know like. So you are going to overspeed, and
Yes.
overspeeding, you are going to beat some traffic laws.
Yes.
And at that point, you might run into some issues that even so at the end of the day, you are going to achieve that thing if possible, but you have broken so many laws along the line. So because you want to be this person that used to go to things early, I had to say, if you know Valentine used to go to store very early and that thing have entered your mind, so you want to go with that mentality. I mean,
You want to
even when
keep
you
to
know that
that.
the time you woke up was very late, oh, so you just want to make it and then beat up time. You are putting yourself under pressure. There are certain times we put ourselves under pressure and it's bad for our mental health. Now, these pressures, they are not external, they're internal. You know that
Yeah.
you're supposed to do this. I remember there was a time I was supposed to travel, I was supposed to be in Abuja, and I knew that my flight was by 2 o'clock. On a normal sense, normal Nigerian, I was supposed to take myself to the airport at least 12:30, 1 o'clock, get settled and all of that. I said, okay, time still day. So that Nigerian time still
I
day.
know, right? That's why Africans always go late to
Time
events
studio.
because
So this was around 1 o'clock. Okay, no. Okay, this was around to 12. So okay, let me just rest a little. Let me not it's not sleep, oh, let me just rest a little. Could you imagine that from this little resting,
let us
sleep
sleep.
have come? Oh. And there was nobody in the house to actually tell me, guy, you are traveling. So I
So,
woke up dot 1 o'clock. This was till 12. I closed my eye and then I was resting till 12. Woke up dot 1 o'clock. I was not rushing. I called my cab guy. The guy came. But what helped me that day was as I was entering the airport, they were announcing that the flight would be delayed for the next 30 minutes or 45 minutes. I was like, ah, God,
so you just use
you
that
do
as an
this one. Oh.
excuse
But the truth
that your
is,
flight was delayed.
that was that was not okay because at
Yeah,
some point I think I left my laptop. I forgot some valuable item I was also
because we are
because I was
rushing.
rushing. So sometimes we put ourselves on unnecessary stress, and once you do that, you are giving your brain so many things to think at the same time. So your brain is supposed to pick one thing at a time, one thing at a time. But when you try to beat up time, when you try to force things, because you've actually been procrastinating all day long. So now you are packing everything into your brain. The brain is working left, right, and center. That's why at some point, some person having high
High
blood
blood
pressure
pressure.
and all of that, or
Yeah.
panic anxiety, just because they want to meet up the tasks they failed to do before. So
Yeah.
at some point, we ourselves too, if you become too cautious of certain things, you'll be mounting pressure on yourself. And this is not even about societal pressure. It's about what
Personal,
we
yeah,
are mounting on
personal
ourselves.
aspirations, personal goals and
So
stuff.
sometimes we need to, be
Calm
chilling
down.
down.
Yeah.
Just want to chill, oh, or just chill.
Chill small.
Just chill small.
Okay, so what's one thing that society actually glorifies that we know when we look at it that is actually damaging our mental, especially I know Nigeria has a lot. So, like, what are some of these things that the society glorifies, but is actually not good for our mental health?
Okay, unnecessary comparison. You get now. Have you not seen your mates are doing this?
Right. And that thing starts from when you are small, when you are little.
Let's say you came back from school at the end of the term, they gave you your result. Not now the result have been put online. It's either your parents to go and view it or you go and view it yourself. Back then they would take a piece of paper for you, this is your result. You just be coming back with it. And then you've seen that your child took second. Instead of you to appreciate that child for that second, he or she
Position.
has actually worked so hard because it's all about hard work,
Right.
okay, and then working smart too. He or she have actually done our best not to fail, but to at least be on the second list of successful students or intelligent students.
Number
And then you
two.
are coming out
Number
to
two
tell the
self no,
child,
no easy now.
the person that took first position, does he have
Two
two
words.
heads, or is the person being fed more than you and all of that? You're not encouraging that person, you
Exactly.
are actually discouraging that person. And this goes down to the older generations on the way they advise the younger generations.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to advise anybody in this particular time, don't compare the person with another person. Just be
Triggers.
real with the
It
person,
actually
you
even
get? Because
triggers those
triggers
things.
like, man, so this little effort I've been putting, that means I'm not doing well. So at that point, I need to make you understand that yes, I'm also hardworking. So I need to go extra miles to get what I'm not supposed to get, as at when I'm not supposed to get them. Just like a child praying to God to give him or her a car. God knows that, man, this prayer is a wrong prayer. You don't need this car now because you don't have the resources, you don't have the mental capacity to handle this particular thing
Right
at this
now.
point. So what God will do, I feel what God does, you just pick your prayer and put it in the prayer bank. So yeah, because you will not discard the prayer. That one is real. So
Yes. So
just put it in the prayer bank
eventually.
and then keep it to when you are of age. Say, yeah, Valentine, I don't want to use any other person's name. So Valentine, I've actually prayed for this car when he was 6 years old. So it is now time for me to give it to him. So let me revisit those prayer points and then grant a request of maybe like 20 something years ago, 30 something years ago. So most persons, society just think is a normal thing. Just like when you seeing a young lady and then asking her, when are you getting married? That's the most damaging question you shouldn't ask anybody.
Especially when someone is feeling, the person is already feeling insecure about these things.
Like
They are now mounting
you are
pressure.
now
Like,
calling a young guy like, oh my, when you go buy car. Also, all this tricking, the guy have been tricking, don't appreciate it. Or you're asking the guy to go and do extra things that they're supposed to do. The guy's plan might be to get a land and not a
exactly.
car. You're putting the pressure on the guy to go and get a car. Meanwhile, at this point, he wants to get a land, build a house. You will start with a business. So don't just, and people should start to know how to mind certain business of theirs and then not ask certain person. Just like you seen your old time classmate in secondary school. You starting with asking the person, what are you doing now? Like we have an old student union and all of that. Man, the only question I'll ask you is, man, it's been long. Where have you been? Like you're
How are
looking
you
good.
doing?
You're looking. Where have you been? Not for you to start asking, oh, boy, how you slim like this now? You know the job. For how many years guys have you never
You
grow?
don't fat to.
Or I don't fat to. That person might be going through something that
Exactly.
the only thing that is giving him or her that joy is maybe seeing himself in the mirror and then, man, I'm growing fat. Thank God. At least I have something to fall back on. And then you're going to ask the person, this one that are growing fat like this, are you sure it's not what we are thinking? Now you know, I'm sure it's not what we are thinking. I know that we have a doctor online, Google. The person disadvantage of growing fat. And Google will
Exactly.
just pack everything
Exactly. So now
and give
bring disadvantages of being obese
and
for
be like,
you.
oh, so I am actually getting to the grave. Oh. Meanwhile, the person is actually very healthy, the person is actually very okay mentally, health wise, and everything. But because someone have asked a silly question that they're not supposed to ask, it triggers a whole lot of things. So society shouldn't compare people because when you start comparing, the mind, the brain start thinking far. Like, does it mean that I'm not well appreciated or what I'm doing, I'm not doing to my best? I don't know. So I need
Satisfaction.
to like, okay, diversify. And
Yeah.
that diversifying is not going to do something that will give them that instant joy, but they're going to do something that will damage their lives and then put others at risk. So society should learn to just
Actually,
not
people
ask
need to
certain
learn.
questions. Yeah.
People need to learn. And basically, I think that most of the time, people mount pressure on others, like based on what they believe is success, like their definition of success.
Yeah.
So they don't know whether the other person has something else that he needs that is an achievement to him. But they'll now mount their own pressure, their own view of success on the person. And it's actually not good. So, how do you differentiate when these things happen? How do you differentiate between emotional resilience and suppressing your emotions? Like, are they the same thing? Or when people say, man up, be strong, like, does you know definitely at that point you would not want to show your emotions just so that maybe people are you are in a very serious situation or stuff like that. So how do you differentiate? Is this actually emotional resilience or are you just suppressing your emotions?
Okay, do people really resist emotions? That's one thing you need to understand.
Right, because it makes us superhuman too.
Even animals do have emotions.
Hmm.
Like if you have a pet of a dog in the house or a dog in the house as a pet, and then you've done this dog's actually very close to you. When you go out, he wants to see you there, like he's waving at you, like dancing all around. Then when you come back, the dog's actually happy, welcoming you. And then one day, just came
Yes,
back from work, and then the dog just came to welcome you, just push the dog, like get out, kick the dog, and
exactly.
do
To
something.
cry, sir.
The dog will feel it, but then he might not have this voice to
To
see what you have done to
say
me.
it
I don't like. Why are you treating me
exactly.
this way?
That's the only thing they
But
don't have.
the dog actually felt it. So as humans, you can if you're suppressing your emotions, you are killing yourself unknown to you.
Hmm.
Things happen that needs you to shout, shout that point and let it go. Things happen that needs you to talk, talk at that moment and let it go. Things happen that even the Bible says be angry, but don't let it stay long.
Hmm.
So if you want to be angry, but be moderate with your anger. Not the
Yeah.
type of anger that you start picking up things, breaking things. That was not anger. That one is you are being possessed. They need to keep you somewhere and then deal with you spiritually. So if those things happen, okay, you need to just show them up. And that's why men dies more than women because they say, you are a man up,
Right,
don't cry, don't
right.
why
Men
will you
don't
be
cry.
crying?
Like,
You are
and it's
weakling and all of that.
what annoys me is that it's from right from when they are small. When they are little, you be like, "Why are you crying? Are you a woman?" Like,
Now, crying is one of the best therapy I will ever recommend
it's
for
cheap.
anybody. It's actually very cheap.
Hmm.
So once you cry, just let the person, as advocate, as counselors, we don't advise. If a client is in front of you, okay, actually pouring out his or her mind, and then at the end is crying. Yeah, don't cry, please. Don't cry. We don't cry here. No, let the person cry. At the end of the day, see that in fact, there's one thing that happens when you finish crying. There's this
Yeah,
sweat of relief that
relief.
comes.
Exactly.
Like just cry, then let the whole thing go. There's a way you go to church. Sorry, I'm a believer, so I'll bring in church and then all of that. There's a way you go to church and then they say a prayer, a particular prayer point. All what to do is just to cry.
Hmm.
He
True.
sees your heart, so he knows what you
True
want to
that.
ask even before you even saying it. Just cry and then stand up and dust yourself and go home. So crying is actually part of it. Don't suppress emotions, okay?
Yeah.
Don't resist it. Just be there, open up, be open minded and see how things will play out for you.
All right. Thank you very, very, very much for that.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we go, I'll just ask you a couple more questions. So, what's the relationship between setting boundaries and mental health?
Okay. Yeah, setting boundaries is actually very important. It safeguard our mental health.
Okay.
So I'm in a place of work and I don't like someone maybe coming to my table to scatter my table and all of that.
Yeah.
Please just respect that particular boundary. Or maybe we are in this working space and I please don't touch me, don't say this to me, don't do this. Just make it clear. You get you making it clear will help you from explaining what you're not supposed to explain in the future. So once people start understanding where boundaries are being set and how to set these boundaries, trust me, we won't have issues with people. We won't
Hmm.
have issues trying to solve problems that we would have solved earlier on. So
Right.
setting boundaries actually help to safeguard our mental health. I don't like this thing, please don't do it when I'm around. You can do it elsewhere, but when you see me, please don't do it. Or when you see me, don't touch me. You can talk to me, but don't touch me.
Hmm.
Don't
And
just do all those things help to safeguard it. Just
yeah.
set boundaries and make it clear. Just write it and make it bold so that the world could see.
Right. And one thing Nigerians should actually learn is respecting people's boundaries. Like Nigerians don't respect people's boundaries. We should actually get better at it because it's one thing that actually aids and promotes a good
Yeah.
mental health.
Okay,
All
sorry,
right.
let me
So
just say this one.
okay.
Even in the workspace,
Yeah.
on a normal day, you're not supposed to take any work home. So if I'm working 9 to 5, once it's 5 o'clock, I don't have
That
any
is
business
stop
with the office work. So I shouldn't be in my house and then you're calling me by
for
12
work.
midnight or 1 a.m. to check your mail I've sent. No. The mail should wait till when I get to work on the following day. If
Yeah.
it's weekend, I have a boss that he doesn't pick any calls on weekends. Any calls pertaining to work or anything. In fact, he says weekends are for himself and his family.
As it
He's,
should
he's
be.
in the field working from Monday to Friday. So when he gets to weekend, he has still calling, say, I want to find out this. He said, please, just let me. In fact, he will not even pick. So he has a line he uses in the office, and he has a line he uses in there. So once he leaves the office, the other line is no gray area. If we are calling host, I just want to hear your voice finish. But if we are discussing anything about work related, please keep it to when we see the office. So people need to, because I might be depressed in the office, and the only time I need to get this stress out of my mind is when
It's
I
when you're
get to
at
the house.
home.
And then I'm getting to the house, and then you're packing other workload. You are calling me to check up on this, to do this and do that. That's supposed to be done in the office.
Yeah.
That's why self-care comes in. So we need to also realize all
Respect
these things and
our
then
own boundaries.
respect our own boundary. Even social media have actually created a time where if you okay, just program your time to social moments. So when you stay online for a particular number of time, it automatically log you out and then maybe shut down your handle. So you could just okay take, but some persons are very stubborn. They might give you 30 minutes to shut down and now go
They will
and
not go and
refresh it
reset
and
it.
then so
They
you
go
need
and
to also
reset
know
it.
those things.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So as we're rounding up, can you just give us a piece of advice, like on how to enhance our mental health and how to take care of it?
Okay, I would say nobody will be able to advise you more than you advising yourself. But since my host said I should advise, who am I? So basically, what I would say for you to safeguard your mental health is first love yourself. Now, I told myself in 2025 I want to be selfish. Selfish
It's
in the sense
important
that
sometimes.
I want to put myself first. I know there are situations that you need to compromise, but a lot of times we put other people's first, and then at the end of the day,
We lose
we
our
just
own
come
self.
out and tell you, what did you even do for me? That could be the most heartbreaking
Very annoying.
question. And so that means all the 99 I've been doing, because I didn't do this particular one to make it 100, you've actually
That's
erased everything. But then, need to take care of yourself. You are the only person that can make yourself happy. Okay, nobody will make you happy. Nobody wants to see you happy the more you want to see yourself happy. So take yourself out. If you have the money, you have the financial capacity to take yourself on vacations, please do so. If you have your the kind of resources you need to experience some expensive lifestyle, I know it's okay for you, do it. It will make you feel much better. So don't just wait for persons to make you happy. Don't just wait for people to take care of yourself. For you, it is yourself. Take care of your mental health. Know things you consume. Know things you bring into your mind. Consuming of things doesn't mean until you eat something. Consuming of things might be information,
content.
might be content, might be what you see, might be what you hear. So know
Yeah.
what. Be selective, whatever you're doing. Yeah, people might talk. People will say something, but then it's yourself. Once you break down, nobody cares. Once you break down in that job that you think is paying you so much, you'll be replaced in the next couple of minutes.
Exactly.
So whatever you're doing, please safeguard your
Exactly.
mental health because it takes someone who is mentally stable to change the world, and all of us wants to be change makers. So
Right.
if you are not stable enough, sorry, you'll be adding to the problems to be solved in the society. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this enlightening session. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
honoring our invitation.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, our wonderful guest, sorry, audience, for staying with us till this time. Please do well to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.
Please, you cut that ending for this one.